A very good morning to you. कोल्ड कम हो गया है, ज़्यादा हो गया है? कोल्ड, ठंड, विंटर, नॉर्मली. So how is winter in Delhi? Hmm? Moderate. A Keralite is saying so. For the first time you are facing such winter or earlier? Earlier also you have for the first. Acha, before also. Okay. So the tax and duties, cess and surcharge we are covering yesterday from Article 301 to Article 307. And last we covered was the power of Parliament to restrict trade and commerce under Article 302 and Article 303. And also then when the state legislature can enact the law for trade and commerce under Article 304. Right or wrong? So what are the grounds on which the state legislature can restrict trade and commerce? कल तो लिखाया तो था मैंने ये लास्ट 3 पॉइंट, वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ. हाँ, कैसा पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट? हाँ, लिख कर बैन. राइट. एंड रीजनेबल रेस्ट्रिक्शन मीन्स व्हाट? Orders, price rigging, the adatiyas, the entrepreneurs who keep these stock till the time price or demand is high. Demand is high, so the supply will be in comparison less. Another reasonable restriction means morality. And reasonable restriction simply means there should be a cutoff. It's not purely restricted but reasonable restriction. For example, in and around Taj Mahal area, only CNG, the clean and green fuel efficient vehicles are allowed, because Taj Mahal was getting dirt, or you can say blackish film on it because of carbon emission. That is why it was done. So the selling of coal was also stopped. Coal burning. In Delhi also, many of the big chimney factories are not working. Before 1881, 1881 and 1882, there was Asiad game in Delhi. That time it was done, and in one go, billionaires were bankrupt because uh, big sugar mills and the coal factories, if you are blowing them by a law. In Bihar, what happened recently? Liquor barons, spurious liquor, they theka deshi srab. When you go by the side of the road, you will be finding theka deshi srab. यहाँ सामाजिक शराब का बिक्री किया जाता है. कौन सी सामाजिक? मीन्स हेयर द सोशल लिकर आर सोल्ड. What do we mean by social liquor? We don't know. Community drink, social drink. Anyway, no, social, no, no, no. Social drink means the uh, kind of very less amount which is taken till, and it is scientifically understood that a small amount taken will not result into uh, kind of influencing your brain to the extent that you are not able to walk and talk. Bhang to an extent can be, and it is connected to the religious flavor also, Lord Shiva. So that's how it is. But now people have legitimized this behavior in the name of God. If you see Babas and all, on, hmm? Oh, okay. So, Chilam. Yeah, so in the name of God. And Bhasma Vagara Laga ke means the dry ashes. You understand dry ashes from the, yeah, from the dead body ashes, burning of the dead body. So this is how it is happening. But anyway, we have to keep a spirit of Article 47 on, and that's how this reasonable restrictions may be there. And any such bill before it is introduced in the state legislature and prior president permission is needed for certain trade and commerce. Now, for this point, first we need to understand that what is the difference between trade, commerce, and business. What is the difference between trade, commerce, and business? Trade starts from T, commerce starts from C. Yes or no? Batao. What is the difference between trade and? अच्छा, तो कॉमर्स को क्या बोलेंगे? व्हाट इज कॉमर्स? अच्छा, NCBS क्या होता है? नॉन कॉमर्शियल बैंकिंग सर्विसेज. नॉन कॉमर्शियल बैंकिंग सर्विसेज. So commerce is essentially related to a commodity. Commodity means spice, cereals, any agricultural crop. You're getting my commerce is essentially for a commodity. Now barter system was replaced by commerce or by trade? Hmm? Hmm. बार्टर से ट्रेड पे आ गए थे. Trading include the exchange of goods and services beyond the border. Also means intra and inter country movement of goods include included in trade, whereas that commercialization of something means you have necessarily incorporated the monetary medium, means the money is hedged against a commodity. For example, 1 kg sugar for half kg of wheat is not the way. So 1 kg of sugar is the prices like 30 rupee kg, and against the 15 rupees kg commodity is compared. So this is commerce, right? Commercial banks. What do we mean by commercial and non-commercial bank? If you say that commercial activity, what do we, profit making essentially included in the commerce. Now the commercial activity simply means what? You want to sell something. No, service providing came later on because we were not visualizing that services are also sold at the time of commerce. That is why I'm saying this, the commercial and non-commercial activities. So for example, this coaching is a commercial activity, but what are we selling here is service. But service is a latter part of means the development. Essentially commerce means the tangible things, consumable things. Later on the services are also identified as consumable commodities. But now when we talk about trade and commerce, which one is bigger, commerce or trade? Commerce is subset of trade. Traders, trading companies, commercial companies nahi, trading companies are having commerce. So what do we mean by traders? In Yes, trade commerce means the selling, but traders are functioning on the basis of demand and supply, and traders are deciding the price, not the commerce, not the commerce, because trading is somewhat demand and supply curve, nothing else. And when we talk about business, hmm, business is essentially the profit motive activity, wherein the profit margin is sought. Now demand and supply, the prices, say for example, I am having only 2 hours in a day to teach you, and if say for example there are many universities which are demanding me, so demand is more, supply is less, then the price will go high, or all will be pulled up together. That's the way. Now when I say that, okay, let me compare myself with other people in order to decide my price, that will be business, not in proportion to, not in proportion to the demand, but in proportion to the need of the people, and you want to hijack them. You understand that? Hijack them. So this is, now affordability will be part of business or not? It may be. You want to make your business more competitive, but still the profit motive is there. You want to have number of people on board rather than small people. So for example, Swiss bank, so not Swiss bank, the Swiss watches business and the China market business, what is the strategy? Expansionist versus quality. The Swiss watches, 1 lakh rupee watch. Chinese watch, how many kg watch you want? So the component is different. So in China border, if you want to purchase the watches, so they will be asking 2.5 kg, 5 kg, 10 kg, like the watches are sold. Yeah, literally it is. Not the piece, kg. Here in Karol Bagh market and all, these are sold. No, not, no, no. Yeah, Like if you go to CP Palika Bazaar and all, you will find that way. Anyway, so trade and commerce and intra movement and inter movement, intra movement and inter movement is covered as part of trade. So this is what TCI is there in under article 301 to 307. But we have to make the examiner very clear about trade, commerce and the intra movement. What is the difference between it and also the business? Business is a all comprehensive term. Business is common to many activities. It includes essentially the profit motive, right? Canvassing. Now, if we talk about the compensatory and regulatory tax, given by center to the states, what are the ways and means apart from finance commission? Compensatory and the regulatory tax. Can court allow? Can court order center that please grant them this much of amount? Now, how, like if you have the preferences that some of the states are having famine, the money is to be granted by the center. So they will be making use of certain bodies. Say for example, Finance Commission is one of the constitutional body, but it is working for the larger interest. But other bodies like Niti Ayog, like NDC, and NDC, और बताओ बस, और कोई बॉडी नहीं है? नहीं भाई, ऐसी तो अलग चीज हो गई, बट फॉर द फाइनेंशियल कंपोनेंट. बस, I have already covered some of the things in part 5. Contingency Fund of India. हाँ तो प्रेसिडेंट करता है, पार्लियामेंट तो फिर बाद में काम आती है, राइट? देन वोट ऑफ क्रेडिट, a blank check. Yes or no? Vote of credit is also used, but for Gujarat, for UP, wherein the same political party is having the government, you have granted the money but not to the other state like Himachal. So on the basis of the fact that Himachal has approached the court, Supreme Court can order the center. Answer is yes. Second thing is that you have imposed a tax on a particular state. State is not convinced for the fact. Can state go to the court and then on the basis of such case, court may direct the center or not? Yeah, judicial activism, but also it is a case. Yeah, maybe the tax can be declared as unconstitutional. Right or wrong? So for example, VAT, value added tax, sen VAT, central value added tax, mod VAT, MOD VAT, modified value added tax. Then VAT was replaced by GST. So don't you think that GST case was put in the court? Answer is yes. States are having their reservations. The traders, the business people, the hoteliers are having reservations. the business model is totally in loss out of GST. So if you have invested 100 rupees in a business, right, what do you think that your services at home, what price it should have? After that only you will decide about the profit. 100 rupees you have invested in a business, maybe 100 CR or 1000 crore, whatever. So what do you want? Out of 100, how much earning you should have to win bread and butter? Minimum 20%. I'm saying a business giving 10% profit is best business. And the best business in India which is giving best of the best profit is tea making. चाय की दुकान खोल लेते हैं. Yeah, 4 or 3 rupees, 6 to 7 rupees per cup profit. So ask your gaon wala to come and you will be providing tacit support. That's it. No, no, it's not the suggestion, but I'm just telling it to you. This is some of the thing. But now, if you talk about the standardized business, 5 to 10% hardly in this new regime of GST. Now, if you go to the government, we are doing for the country, you need to sacrifice yourself for the country. Now, this is the unrealistic model, and that is what states were crying for, and then court came in between. You're getting my point? Hmm? No, setting is different case altogether. That we want our right to be addressed legally. If 1 rupee I am entitled to get from government, I should fight. Other people may say that, see, this person is fighting for only 1 rupee, but it is my right. Yes or no? Other people are saying that why he is after only 1 rupee, because other people are not serious about that 1 rupee because they are believing into under table money. Yes or no? So shouldn't I fight for even a single rupee that I am entitled to? Yes, I should. This is what is the scenario. But in the government, you will be laughing that why the person is uh, having so much of seriousness for even a single rupee, right? Now, if we talk about the the meaning of the goods under the Indian Constitution, what is the meaning of goods? Under Article 366, literally speaking, please don't laugh. The definition under Article 366 for goods is that what is not service is called as goods. And then next line, the service. What is not goods is service. See, the constitution. Wow, what a line. No need to apply your grey matter. Simple. If no, एक definition और थी. What is money bill? I have given you the dictation. A bill which is not constitutional, ordinary, is called as money bill. That was also a definition. Now, if a tax is to be imposed, it can be imposed by legislature, and Article 265 says that any tax which is to be imposed cannot be imposed without the authority of law. Now, the imposition word has been used as levy, right? And from the levy word, you have made the word Leviathan state. Leviathan state, you know already, means more and more imposition of tax. Leviathan state, right? More tax you will be imposing, then evasion of tax will be more. And here comes the Laffer curve. Rather than increasing the tax rate, you increase tax base. More number of people. So tax net should be widened rather than tax rate. Then the 15th Finance Commission, what is the percentage of share that center is to give to the states? And in the 14th Finance Commission, why the 1% decrease? Yeah, Ladakh. So 1% will be going to Ladakh development. Now, this 42% was there in the 14th Finance Commission recommendation. In 13th Finance Commission, what was the ratio? 32. There was a quantum jump of 10%. States were happy. Now, when we decreased 1%, the state was making you and cry. But we have the reason that 1% is going to Ladakh. Now, what this 42% and 40%, 41% is all about? What is the meaning of it? So it means the 59% rest will be used by the center. So what about the CSS, centrally sponsored schemes and sectoral schemes? No, it will be part of 41 or it will be part of 59. वो तो फिर 59 शेयर्ड है तो what is the problem here in 41% is that more than 50% of things are coming in the name of the government. So that's how what you will find that in the on the airport in the state. So Prime Minister has launched the scheme, and that is why the states like Odisha, Tamil Nadu, they repudiate, they deny that such scheme we don't need, because along with the grant there comes the advertisement. In Pachim Bengal means West Bengal also. Yes, that is what I'm saying. In Odisha government, Biju Patnaik, people are having such things. In Odisha, in Himachal, you see, right? Gujarat is a parental state. Maybe their sentiments are different altogether. But maybe this time, I don't know that to what extent people are happy from this government or not. We really don't know. Now, West Bengal is also one of these states. Now, why the West Bengal? It is in East. Why the West Bengal is West? It should be East Bengal, no? It is Bangladesh. So that is why it is West Bengal. Who decided it to be called as East Bengal and West Bengal? Lord Karjan. That's how the West Bengal is. Hmm? ये कर लेंगे किसी दिन नहीं बांग्लादेश the Hindu minority is more in Bangladesh. People migrated to India, 10 lakh Hindus. Hmm. The open borders we have is still. Porous border is there. No, not possible to have walls. Singapore se we imported the floating borders. Means on like the drums. If you leave them in water, they will be floating. So on drums you are having the poles, and on the poles you are having fencing. So floating borders. उसी में in that part only it is. Now people will be coming from नीचे से आ जाएगी अंडर वाटर स्ट्रोक करके अंडर वाटर स्विमिंग right. So for that also they have the sensors. But anyway, now if you talk about exclusively for the Finance Commission and NDC, NDC is a constitutional body, National Development Council. Hmm? It is not a constitutional body. But what this NDC is all about? Planning Commission came later on, or NDC came later on. NDC बाद में आया. Okay. Now, when Planning Commission was brought, which country was the motivation behind Planning Commission? USSR. And for Niti Aayog? चेंज करके US, right? Right. But not exclusively that from US we have brought this name. It is original name for India, given by India. Now, if a body is to be called as supra cabinet, it is NDC, it is Finance Commission, or it is NITI, National Institution for Transforming India. Acha, which is the least functional or least effective? Out of these three? This is NDC, then Finance Commission. Niti Aayog is the most effective body. Why? Because of the presence of executive role of PM. PM being ex officio chairperson, but still executive role is there of PM. Now, why we scrapped Niti Aayog? Why we scrapped Planning Commission to bring Niti Aayog for making plans like top-down approach? How? Hmm. Hmm. The only problem I tell you, what was the issue? Now, when you say top-down approach, yes, of course it is. Why it is top-down approach? If I say that Planning Commission was having its branches in the states or not, answer is no. Now Niti Aayog is having its branches and centers in states, answer is yes. This is the difference. Bottom up approach. Why? The Niti Aayog is making the plan on the basis of regional councils. RCs are there to collect the data, assimilate the information, recommending the need on behalf of a particular village or the area. And when you are having all data together from all the nook and corners of the country, the better realistic picture is there. Then there was no executive arms in Niti Aayog exclusively. Sorry, in Planning Commission. Now we are having it in Niti Aayog. CEO. Now having CEO, and that too the high rank from administrative services, what it does it reflect? And you are giving him the status of a secretary. It means a file is going from one ministry to another ministry, or from Niti Aayog to another ministry. If CEO has signed it, being a senior officer, and you are secretary of a batch which is comparatively junior in nature, of junior scale, then whose recommendation will be taken? Seniority. And that's what is the tussle between cabinet secretary and principal secretary. Now, who is senior most, cabinet secretary or principal secretary? Cabinet secretary is father of civil servants, but principal secretary's age and batch may be higher than the cabinet secretary, or maybe junior, but principal secretary is like PA or PS of prime minister, and principal secretary is head of PMO. Now, PMO is more powerful or central secretariat is more powerful? PMO is more powerful. Now, in PMO, how many people are working effectively apart from manual staff? Less than 20. And in central secretariat, though more than 200 the officers, but you see, big building secretariat. Through PMO, you clear the file, you get the file cleared just in 10 days time. Through secretariat, file will take more than 1 year or will be buried in the dust. This is the scenario. Now, when we talk about NDC, which is not a constitutional body, but why do we need to have NDC? In NDC, National Development Council, NDC. Now, if I ask you a question before discussing NDC, that which body in India is the highest planning making body? Plan making body. Hmm? Hmm. NDC is the highest planning making body of the country. In prelims, if the options are there, what we will be taking? NDC. Why? NDC is having 2 times biannual meeting, like in every 6 months it meets. In NDC, every chief minister from every state is a member, though it is presided over by the prime minister. Getting my point? Now, why all the chief ministers and prime ministers are meeting in NDC? To discuss about the needs, about the plan. Now, when Modi ji was there attending NDC meet, and Mamata Banerjee madam came, she left in between from the meeting in a kind of high tone. मैं बोलता हूँ, मेरा कोई सुनता ही नहीं है, ऐसा. You're getting my point? So, this is the NDC significance, and the meeting is not held in secrecy. It is in open, in front of media, and that is why media is able to report better. Now, NDC is more federal or Finance Commission is more federal? NDC is more federal. Now, NDC send the plan to Finance Commission, or Finance Commission send its approved thing to NDC? FC को send करता है. Now, what is the connection between Niti Aayog and FC? So basically, in hierarchy, if I say that Niti Aayog, NDC and FC, right, this is the constitutional body to recommend only the grant in aid, whereas NDC is the highest planning making body, right, and Niti Aayog is recommending the data the survey only. So Niti Aayog is just conducting the surveys and collecting the data and assimilating it and reporting it to NDC. Hmm. फर्क कुछ भी नहीं है. नीति आयोग sometimes is more powerful than NDC. Theoretically and legally, NDC is to be more powerful. But in Niti Aayog, all the chief ministers are not the member. In NDC, all the chief ministers are member. And you understand that everything happens for the political reasons. For the political reasons, if all the chief ministers are part of NDC, right, then why the center, which is having different political party, will be hearing and entertaining their demand? Nothing will happen. Who is serious about your development? Until unless you give vote to us, even if you have given vote to us, but the government is of another political party, we are not serious. Modi ji is serious to give the money to a state which is not having a BJP government. No. He will be serious only when the his political party is coming. So this is something which is kind of a practical route away from theory. That's how we can understand it. Now we can write one line about things. एक नहीं कर सकते ना. दिस इज द मेन इशू. एक कर देंगे तो फिर गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. व्हाट वाज द लास्ट लाइन? Public interest. Okay. Compensatory and regulatory aspect. Right in this. The Supreme Court, comma, to determine the validity of a tax, to determine the validity of a tax which may be imposed on goods movement from one state to another, comma, has outlined the concept of compensatory or regulatory tax. Compensatory or regulatory tax. Full stop. The government, in order to facilitate free flow of goods, provide infrastructural facilities like roadways, waterways, etc., which involve huge expenditure. Full stop. If a tax is imposed which compensate the government for providing these facilities, comma, it will be declared to be a valid tax. For example, toll tax. toll toll tax. Then second point, under Article 307, the Parliament is empowered to appoint by law such an authority such an authority which is considered necessary for carrying out purposes related to trade and commerce. Full stop. Through such a law, the concerned authority the concerned authority may also be provided with such power and duties as may be necessary for the purpose that have been created. Full stop. Till now, no such authority has been created. No such authority has been created. But the following bodies have been created to better allocate and use the collected tax from the center and from states. Number 1, NDC, National Development Council. It was established in 1952. By an executive resolution of Government of India on the recommendation of first 5-year plan. Full stop. It is not a constitutional body. But it is highest planning making body in India. Full stop. PM is its ex officio chairperson. And all union ministers along with CM are member of it. Full stop. It meets twice a year. Full stop. It acts as A bridge, it acts as a bridge and link between central and state government in the field of planning, in the field of planning. Please stop. It has been criticized sometimes as a rubber stamp, as a rubber stamp, as its recommendations are advisory in nature. Right. The number two, Niti Ayog, Niti Ayog versus Planning Commission. Right in it. PC was set up, Planning Commission was set up on 15th March 1950, 1950, on the line of USSR, on the line of USSR financial model. To replace PC, National Institution for Transforming India was created on 1st January 2015. 2015. Full stop. PC had power, Planning Commission, PC had power to allocate funds to ministries and states, but now the same is with finance ministry. Full stop. So is essentially Niti Ayog is essentially a think tank and advisory body. Full stop. PC had power to initiate and formulate plan of center plans of center, but Niti Ayog has power no such power. Full stop. PC had top down approach, but now mechanism in Niti Ayog will be developed for bottom up approach to make plans, and for this regional councils regional councils have been created. have been created. Full stop. Niti Ayog has a post of CEO and chairperson. CEO and of chairperson, apart from ex officio presence of PM. Apart from ex officio presence of PM in it. In it. Full stop. In a nutshell. In a nutshell. Niti Ayog. Niti Ayog is more an administrative. More an administrative and executive. Sorry, advisory. Execute. What did you write? Administrative and advisory body. Advisory body in comparison to PC, which was de facto a political body. De facto a political body. Okay. Now put the heading Finance Commission. यहाँ पर जो आपने डिफरेंस लिखा है नीति वर्सेस पीसी में, this is more clear in comparison to the material that you read, any of the material. You see it, you will be having kind of game changer scenario in it. If you are able to write in a crux this matter, then the examiner will understand that you understand the things. Otherwise, beating around the bush like whatever is there in 4 or 5 page long, any of the printed material will not serve the purpose. Please write in it. Article 280 provides for a finance commission, which is a quasi judicial body, appointed by the president in every fifth year. It consists of a chairperson. And four other members who are eligible for reappointment. List of Parliament determines the qualification. For chairperson and members. Accordingly, a person who has experience of public affairs. Accordingly, a person who has experience of public affairs, is qualified for the appointment of chairperson, as chairperson. Full stop. The other members should have one or more following qualification. The other members should have one or more following qualification. Number 1, A judge of high court, a judge of high court, or the one who is qualified to be high court judge. A judge of high court can be a member or a person who is qualified to be a high court judge. Then second, a person who has a specialized knowledge, a person who has a specialized knowledge of finance and accounts of the government and accounts of the government. The number 3, a person who has wide experience, a person who has wide experience in financial matters, and in administration. Number 4, a person who has a spatial knowledge of economics. Knowledge of economics. Okay. Now put the heading functions of Finance Commission. Functions of Finance Commission. Number 1, the distribution of net proceeds, PROCEEDS, distribution of net proceeds of taxes should to be shared between center and the states comma, and the allocation between the states Then second one, the principle that should govern the grant in aid, AID, grant in aid to the states by the center out of Consolidated Fund of India. Number 3, the measure needed to augment augment, augment means jutana, means you need to arrange, augment the consolidated fund of state, consolidated funds of state to supplement the resources for panchayat and municipalities on the basis of recommendations made by State Finance Commission. Right. The number 4, any other matter referred to it by the President in the interest of in the interest of sound finance. For example, 14th Finance Commission, for example, 14th 14 Finance Commission recommended for tsunami and earthquake affected areas, comma, for GST restructuring, etc. Right? And right below this, the assessment means the next paragraph. The assessment of FC working in the years gone by, since independence. Gone by means already over. Gone by since independence is not collinear. Is not collinear means not very good every time. Not collinear. As in the early years, as the in the early years, FC was not effective, but it is very relevant today. But it is very relevant today because number one, there is multi-party democracy. There is multi-party democracy in India, wherein different political parties, different from that of the central, different from that of the center ruling party, working in the states, working in the states. Then second, more number of centrally sponsored schemes, more number of centrally sponsored schemes put the state in disadvantageous position, put the states in disadvantageous position as political party in union have populist measures through CSS in the states. Through CSS means centrally sponsored schemes in the states. Through CSS in the states. Then third point, new measures like GST put the ball in union's court as tax structure has tilt towards the union. Right. The next paragraph. In FC, president plays the neutral role. President plays a neutral in FC, Finance Commission. No, no, no. President of India. President of India appoints FC. In FC, president is not there. Chairperson is there. In FC, the president plays the neutral role for having equity between center and state, between center and states, but its recommendations are not binding. Not binding. Full stop. Though it rolls out 5-year long financial schemes, but these are not taken fully in the annual budgets because of political reasons. Are not taken fully in the annual budgets because of political reasons. Full stop. Its position is further compromised. Full stop. Its position is further compromised by the presence of Niti Ayog and other financial committees set up from time to time, like pay commissions. Niti Ayog and other financial committees set up from time to time like pay commissions. Full stop. In a longer run, but in a longer run, if one need to ensure if one needs to ensure cooperative federalism, then we should take serious note we should take serious note for recommendations made by Finance Commission. Made by Finance Commission. Now put the heading difference between NDC and Finance Commission functions. Difference between NDC and Finance Commission functions. Write in it, FC deals with principles and guidelines. FC deals with principles and guidelines for distribution of resources. Whereas NDC consider the annual plans in its biannual meets. And second point, FC consider the resources for panchayat and municipalities. Whereas NDC look for national resources for plan. Look for national resources and issues for plan. And third point, FC doesn't make plan as such. FC doesn't make plan as such, but NDC is highest planning making body. Highest planning making body after after parliament. And fourth point, FC doesn't review the plan. FC doesn't review the plan, but NDC does. Then right below this the paragraph. The first function of NDC is to act. The first function of NDC is to act as a link between center and state. To act as a link between center and state government. Whereas Niti Ayog, comma, besides, it also serve as a forum, FORUM. It also serve as a forum for center state deliberations. Center states deliberations in its meeting. In its meeting. Let's stop. NDC. नहीं डिफरेंसेस नहीं लिख रहे, वो एनालिसिस में ही कनेक्ट हो रहा है, मतलब पैराग्राफिक इंफॉर्मेशन में. एनडीसी prescribes the guideline for preparation of national plan, and it makes an assessment of the resources that are required for implementing the plan, Let's stop. It also considers important questions. Of social and economic policy affecting the national development. Then right below this, the Niti Ayog in between makes efforts to dominate over NDC. Niti Ayog in between makes efforts to dominate over NDC, which is more federal in nature. But due to presence of media and civil society, on the side of NDC, NDC, Niti Aayog is not successful in doing so, which is good for the nation. Which is good for the nation, right? यहाँ तक की बात समझ में आई आपको जी? Now, if there is any problem, फाइनेंस कमीशन जो है वो 5 साल के लिए बैठता है, हर बार फिर चेंज होता है, इट्स अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी। एनडीसी हर साल में 2 बार मिलती है और इसके मेंबर्स चेंज होते रहते हैं चीफ मिनिस्टर से। फाइनेंस कमीशन के जो लार्जर पिक्चर्स हैं वो 5 साल का प्लान बनाने की बात है, 5 ईयर प्लान्स। नो 5 ईयर्स प्लान के बजाय हमने प्लान्स हॉलीडेज भी रखे हैं, पर्सपेक्टिव प्लान्स भी रखे हैं, एनुअल प्लान्स भी रखे हैं, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ वॉर्स अर्लियर, राइट? whereas NDC is making plan on the annual basis. Now NDC is more federal in nature in comparison to Niti Aayog, and FC is more constitutional in nature under the patronage of president who is appointing it. Finance Commission is just giving the broad ratio, that in this ratio the resources between center and states will be allocated, and the net proceed of the tax proceed means what? Proceed is against the receipt, or it is just the proceed? Hmm? No. In English, general term of proceed means what? Go means aage, means go ahead or going ahead, whereas proceeds of which here means the collected amount against the receipt that you get. So Finance Commission is just deciding the ratio as per which the center and state will be having the distribution. That's it. National Development Council is having the biannual meet wherein all the chief ministers are voicing for their demand. Finance Commission is not having certain meetings that all the chief ministers are coming. So for example, being a president, 5 people I have appointed in the Finance Commission. Now it is a theoretical development, and you guys gave the recommendation that sir 41% should be the ratio, and I have signed it, and it became the fundamental that the parliament and the government will follow. Now NDC is more a political unit wherein president is not coming in picture, you 5 people are not coming in picture, you guys are not part of NDC, you are part of Finance Commission. I am appointing Finance Commission being a president, for example, whereas NDC, in NDC Prime Minister and Chief Ministers are taking part, President is not coming, any of the chairperson of Finance Commission or members are not coming. In order to be NDC member, what qualification you need to have? Nothing. You need to be a judge of High Court or Supreme Court like that? Nothing. What NDC is doing? Assessing what? The policies, programs. What assessment is done there? Sir, what are you doing in our state? You have not given us the money. We have sent you so many requests. It is happening in parliament, but NDC is exclusively for this purpose. Yeah. So NDC is exclusively for and financial needs of the state. Exclusively for the financial need of the state. Whereas Finance Commission is deciding the fundamental ratio, and Finance Commission has nothing to do with other things, and it is only an advisory body which is to be implemented by whom? The Parliament. Now NDC is a planning making body, and of course Finance Commission is taking a note of what NDC has done in last 5 years, so that next 5-year plan can be put. फाइनेंस कमीशन फंड एलोकेट करता है, फंड एलोकेट करता था प्लानिंग कमीशन, जो नीति आयोग अब नहीं करता, तो इसकी एक पॉलिटिकल डायमेंशन जो है वो खत्म हो गई, पावर ही खत्म हो गई. एस्टिमेट कमेटी का क्या काम है? एस्टिमेट कमेटी इज अ पॉलिटिकल यूनिट, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी, which is providing the estimates that in the forthcoming year what all money we need to have, how much money we need to have to spend. All the members of Lok Sabha in estimate committee, 30 members, right? So estimate committee or planning commission or Niti Ayog today, very different. Estimate committee is more substantial in nature, right? So if you look at the wide spectrum, all are internally connected but with more powers and less power. But I am giving you money. Now who you are? You are NDC? No. You are Niti Ayog? No. You are Finance Commission? No. What are you then? You are a ministry or department? And who am I? Who is giving you the money? Parliament. Simple. Now NDC, Niti Ayog, Finance Commission, what are they doing? Formality. What are they doing? Formality. Now referring to the 5-year plan, opposition will making you and cry that this 5-year plan was violated in the budget, has not been addressed. So yeah, it will become part of starred mark questions wherein the order may be there. They may approach the court also. So financial prudence is a larger term. Now if the question is there that financial prudential measures today in Indian democracy is an old story. Discuss. How subject means you see the subjectivity of the question. I should write it. एंड उसी में से प्रीलिम्स का भी क्वेश्चन बना देंगे, आपको लगेगा कि ये सब्जेक्टिविटी कैसे ऑब्जेक्टिविटी की तरफ लीड कर रही है. टुडे फाइनेंशियल फाइनेंस prudential system in India is an old story. Discuss. Now to begin with, if I just frame a question out of this, that A, B, C, D for prelims, that financial prudential measures or system include effective 5-year plans, decentralized Niti Ayog role, Then Contingency Fund of India money being spent regularly. Then Finance Commission's role in recommending the needful things for certain states. Now the आंसर यू नीड टू टेल, इसी में से मेंस का आंसर भी निकल जाएगा. 1 2 3 4. सो ए बी सी डी ए सी डी ए बी डी. सीता जी कौन थी? You're understanding the link between your exam and the things here, how the questions are framed here, the mains and prelims. Now from prelims question you are writing the answer in main. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. The same content. Hmm? Today financial prudential system in India is an old story discussed. Now effective financial year plans, decentralized Niti Aayog role, contingency fund of India money being spent regularly, and FC's role in recommending the needful things for certain states. Now if I say that financial prudential system is an old story, and the question is saying that what is true out of this, because it is an old story, so all these things are supporting. Or if I say that what is not true out of this, and the three options, so what is not true for the today's financial prudential system? What is not true? Effective financial year plans is happening today? No. Now decentralized Niti Aayog role is there today? Yes. Niti Aayog is a recent story. Now contingency fund of India money being spent regularly. Hmm? Contingency fund of India money not being spent. That is what I want to ask. Just prepare the report of the spent money out of contingency fund of India in the recent years. The money has been spent for all the ruling states, means same political party. Emergency, the earthquake, tsunami, avalanche, Amarnath Yatra victims. You are getting my point? This money, now it will be ratified by the parliament later on. But it is not the discretionary power of the president. So it is done for the political reasons. President will express his reservation only when president is thinking neutrally. But is president thinking neutrally? Or was thinking? No. At least one was not. Right? So contingency fund of India money being spent regularly. So it is a finance prudential system. No. Now, if I say that finance commercial role in recommending the needful things for certain state, these recommendations I gave you in finance, 14 finance commission recommendation. For example, no, I gave you the line here today. नहीं दिया? दिया है भाई. आप देखो अभी लिखा हुआ है वहां पे एग्जाम्पल, लास्ट वाले पॉइंट में एग्जाम्पल लिखा हुआ है. हाँ. अच्छा, आप ऐसे समझते हो कि ये एक लाइन ना ऐसे ही है बस, कुछ भी नोट्स क्यों बना रहे हो फिर? सो पार्ट ऑफ योर पास्ट इज बरीड इन दी बुक्स बर्डन. वो देखो ग्रेवयार्ड वहां पे. No, you are alive, but a kind of imaginary grave on the top of your the dead body, imaginary dead body, all the books. तो एक एक लाइन से ही तो क्वेश्चन बनता है. फाइनेंस कमीशन रोल इन रिकमेंडिंग द नीडफुल थिंग्स फॉर सर्टेन स्टेट्स. नाउ व्हाट इज द आंसर इफ आई से नॉट पार्ट ऑफ? This not word is generally highlighted in the prelims questions. What is the answer? If I say not part, today finance prudential system in India is an old story. What consider the following which are not part of the above? So ACD, या तो आंसर होगा ACD या फिर आंसर होगा B. सो ACD किस चीज के बेस पे आंसर हो सकता है? ओल्ड स्टोरी के बेस पे. न्यू स्टोरी के बेस पे क्या होगा आंसर? नीति आयोग. And if it is not part of, then what is the answer? What is not part of today's financial prudential system? Decentralized Niti Ayog. B is the correct answer. No, no. Financial prudential system in India is an old story. And the question is saying that consider the following which is not part of the above. आज हो रहा है, which is not part of the, so decentralized Niti Ayog will be there relatively. Now you frame answer out of this for mains. अभी तो हो जाएगा, कुछ तो clarity है. Now if I say that financial prudential system, a brilliant school boy or brilliant school girl, what will they do? पहले तो वो अपने समझाने के लिए लिखेंगे, तभी इवेल्युएटर को समझा पाएंगे. To begin with, financial prudential system can be defined as wisdomfulness of the government, of the parliament and other agencies while thinking about the money expenditure for the welfare of people through various policies and programs. मैंने इसमें कुछ नया नहीं लिखा. हिंदी में यदि नहीं, हिंदी में I will not say because you will not understand. So that's how it is. Same thing arranged धीरे धीरे करके. Now ahead of this, in earlier times after independence, government was more serious, so was the parliament. Multi-party democracy was also not there. Lesser number of states were there, resulting into the fact that the discussion, the deliberations were honest, hence the wisdomfulness and prudential expenditure was more shown. But since multi-party democracy is there today, right, multiple bodies are coming up, more judicial activism is there, resulting into the fact that prudential measures have taken the back seat and the political reasons are dominating. In addition to that, certain scams and corruptions are also reported widely. Right or wrong? Now, at the time when the government true will is not reflected in its governance or in its working, then the role of civil society, NGO, the judiciary, and last but not the least, the role of RTI in knowing that what the government is doing can enforce the greater accountability on the government to make it more wisdomful and prudential. Yes or no? So you are talking now the current examples you can bring from the current affairs. So today, for example, LIC chief will be coming from private sector. More number of lateral entries as joint secretary we have brought. Right or wrong? NCLT. What is NCLT? Bolo. The NCLT is not in picture here, but what was the body which was made out of the company's law? The MCA recommended for it, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Company law came in 2013, the amended law. Corporate, for corporate issues. क्या आ जाता है? NCLT. Supreme Court paved the way for global steel giant ArcelorMittal to take over SRS Steel. Right. So it is NCLT, which is a quasi-judicial body that examines the issue related to the companies in India. It was set up under the Companies Act 2013 on 1st June 2016. No, whenever the things are there, these are handwritten things. You see, my handwriting. To be very honest, right? I have to burn midnight oil just to have the things in my own understanding, not printed at all, right? So you need to understand कि ये current fodder है ना, वो आप अपने हाथ से कहीं ना कहीं लिखते रहो. You know, insolvency and bankruptcy code. Insolvency क्यों होता है? If prudential things are not there in picture, then insolvency IBC code will come in picture. I'll be discussing it in non-constitutional bodies, right? This is one of the body that you need to. And then RBI, the reformation and restructuring the RBI governor panel isn't part of prudential system. Answer is yes. Then the prime minister's flagship programs like Make in India, right? More globalized economy, India becoming part of G20, the import export, right? The agriculture, everything will become part of prudential system. But to what extent you can, no, to what extent you can write will be permitted by the word limit. जब इतना सारा हमने इकट्ठा कर लिया, इसमें से कुछ ही लिख पाएंगे. Restructuring of the governor panel, it was there when demonetization was to take place. MPC. So yeah, the neutral person should be there as the RBI governor. So RBI governors are coming from corporate world also. It's not that necessarily one IAS officer is to be appointed as RBI governor. Udaipur mein? In Udaipur. In Udaipur it took place too. G20. Yeah. Because just a new nomenclature to Sherpas are more loyals. That is why the name Sherpas. Nepali name. Hmm. Basically, maybe uh, this G20 is a big picture, and India was given the presidency of this G20 at the time when it is struggling. The world is struggling with the downturn. Now, Modi ji is having its own visionary approach for economy. Otherwise, G20 presidency might have not been given to India, right? Because when nobody is able to make use of G20, now let's give it to India. But now Modi ji is taking it as an opportunity to have this thing in not in made in India, but make in India. Come and make in India, right? This is what G20s and make in India confluence is. Now the states, they will be meeting. Then what all land you have to allocate for big SEZ like systems? So say for example in UP, another defense corridor is being brought. Now you see defense corridor is not a small project. From Lucknow to Agra, how many villages will be going in defense corridor? You can understand this. The big walls, it will be more than the total budget, annual budget amount, infrastructural development. Now, what is the objective behind defense corridor? To make defense on the line of Russia, the way they are part of GDP. Defense is not a productive part of the economy. We are maintaining the standing army. Now, when the war is there, then only we are making use of them. That too, economy is having denting effect. No production. And if we are stopping 1 year budget for the armed forces, you see, poverty will be removed totally from India. Means I'm saying that poor people are given money for free. It will not solve their problems. But still, nobody will be hungry. This is what is the result. But we cannot stand maintaining a standing army is the prerequisite like maintaining a fire brigade and ambulance. No one want that fire hazard should be there, sorry, fire should be there, or anyone should be sick so as to use ambulance. At least we have to maintain this army also. Money. No, that is a Taliban is not a recognized uh, body. It is a self-styled body banned by many of the countries, including US. Why one should use the nuclear bomb? Why? No, what I'm saying is that people have started making the chambers wherein the radiation is least, so that if anyone is using nuclear bomb, then they will be able to save themselves. Have you seen that chamber in some of the Netflix series? I don't remember the name, but I have seen the trailer. Some movie is there wherein one actor. क्या बना दिया था? Okay. बनाया हुआ है. Here also we have. In Prime Minister's house, there are there are 7 tunnels. 7 tunnels, and one tunnel is going from Prime Minister house to Safdarjung Airport to evacuate the Prime Minister. That is a large plan. Lutyens Delhi was not made in a day. You know Lutyens. Yeah. So it is the Lutyens Delhi nearby CP and India Gate, 1911. Okay, so this is what we are having here, but we have to go beyond this. Now, if any corruption is there related to finance, which body is dealing with this? Hmm. Which body, sorry, which commission is so famous for the financial fraudulence? Santhanam Committee, right? Santhanam Committee gave the recommendation to make bodies like CVC. Now, if I talk about CVC, 1964 it was brought, but what function it has? To deal with only what? Official corruption. Official corruption. But what if Prime Minister is corrupted? What about the political corruption? Do we have any body? So that is why we need to have body called as ombudsman. Ombudsman, though Scandinavian concept, but here in India it is known as Lokpal for center and Lokayukta. There are two model for it, Jan Lokpal and Lokpal. Now, if the political corruption is to be investigated, the ombudsman like Lokpal or Lokayukta should be there. But do we have effective Lokpal in India? Do we have any Lokpal in India? ओम्बड्समैन है, लोकपाल की बात कर रहा हूँ. एक्टिव नहीं है. No, it was not executed. We don't have. Appointment was recommended, means the name was recommended. तो कहाँ सैलरी दिया है हमने? यही तो प्रॉब्लम है. लोकायुक्ता आर बीइंग अपॉइंटेड. लोकायुक्तास आर देयर. No, basically क्या है that if the prime minister's office is included as part of the investigation to be done by Lokpal, then opposition will be more effective. Court may give the order to the Lokpal. And what if Lokpal is also corrupted? Who will then investigate? Of course, the institutional body having credential Supreme Court. नहीं, Lokpal basically is dealing with political corruption, and if the prime minister's office has been means is being grilled under some investigation, then there will be greater political instability. For the want of PM, every time the country will be sitting in every 6 months. This is the main issue. Now, anyway, if CBC is to carry out the raid and all, it takes help of CBI. And in case if any human rights violation is there, then NHRC will be in picture. Now, which body is the senior most body among all? not for the financial investigation but in general. Which body is the senior most body among all, including IB, RAW, NHRC? Why? The head of NHRC is CGI, ex-CGI, and the NHRC is the only body, which is having report of everybody, including CVC and CBI. Why? The age of this chief, who is ex-CGI, is from 65 to 70. No other body in India is having the age in parallel to NHRC. He is the senior most officer. NHRC is that body which is taking immense help of civil society. Immense help. Open order. Why? To encourage people, to encourage other bodies to spread the awareness for the human rights. Right? Can we take one line about CVC? Yeah. It was created in 1964, Central Vigilance Commission. We are discussing center-state relations, so all the bodies. It was created in 1964 on Santhanam Commission recommendations. Santhanam Commission recommendations. Let's stop. In 2003, it was given statutory status. Statutory status. Full stop. It is a multi-member body. Multi-member body consisting of a CVC, and not more than two VCs. Not more than two VCs. The term of CVC and VC is of 4 years, or 65 years of age, whichever is earlier. Please stop. They enjoy the status of UPSC chairperson and members. UPSC chairperson and members respectively. Full stop. Its function is to inquire into the referred official corruption cases. Its function is to inquire the referred official corruption cases under Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. Right. Then right below this, the paragraph CIC, Chief Information Commissioner, is very helpful for CVC CVC, and it came up it came up in 2005 under RTI Act. RTI Act. It has one CIC and not more than 10 information commissioners. Not more than 10 information commissioners. Please stop. CIC has power of a civil court. And it looks into the unentertained RTI applications. It looks into unentertained RTI applications. CIC and ICs enjoy the status of CEC and ECs respectively, Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner respectively. Then right below this, CBI that works under the patronage of CVC, was set up in 1963. Under Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946, DSPE, Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946. By Government of India resolution. It has a director of IGP rank, Inspector General of Police. It has a director of IGP rank with 2-year term. Appointed by a committee headed by CVC. Full stop. CBI is a premier investigating agency like Interpol. Interpol means International Police, like Interpol. Then right below this, RAW, RAW, that is Research and Analysis Wing. Was created in 1968 so as to have better coordination among security forces. Better coordination among security forces. Its main objective is to counter foreign intrusion and advising the defense as part of foreign intelligence work. Foreign intelligence work. Let's stop. It works under cabinet secretary. Cabinet secretary. Then right below this, IB, Intelligence Bureau. In contrast, in contrast, looks after the internal agency part. Internal agency part, comma, and it was created in 1885. 1885, British legacy, 1885, to to have a watch to have a watch on Russian troops deployment on Afghanistan border. Let's stop. In 2003, sorry, in 2013, PIL was filed challenging the legality of IB, challenging the legality of IB, as it has not been created. It has not been created by parliament or by government. So let's stop. Till 1968, it used to look after the foreign intelligence work also. Before the creation of RAW. Before creation of RAW. Right. So basically RAW जो है ना इसको more teeth were provided by the then lady PM, but then it was deflated gradually. Morarji Desai also was not very much interested in vitalizing this body. The Pakistan Prime Minister used to talk to Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. So what did you have today? So Lal Bahadur Shastri used to tell, I had cow urine in the morning. Okay, you also try. So what is the motivation? In your country, cow slaughter is there, but in our country, we are worshipping it. So such communication was there, and RAW was taking cue out of it. That means analysis. Any word out of the memory for of the day working is helpful. You understand this? So intelligence work. So when Prime Minister is talking to PM, some of the day-to-day functioning is dominating in memory, and by mistake slip of tongue is there, and you are uttering something important, and the intelligent people read between the lines. So such conversation was sometimes helpful, sometimes not helpful. So that's how it is. Now against the RAW, what we have in other countries? Mossad, Mossad, and so what is NIA here in India? So it is on part of FBI or CIA? FBI. NIA is on the federal agency on part of FBI. But what CIA is doing? So Federal Bureau of Investigation and CIA means it is both are intelligence agency, but they have been created to give competition to each other. And hardly we have created one body NIA which is not having competition from other bodies. Right? So in movies what is shown? So a heroine is reaching from CIA and a hero is coming from FBI. So they are having competition that who will take the credit of killing the murderer. As and the politics between the forces going on, and such movies are there in US. And here comes James Bond in between. Right. Yes. What was the case then? Hmm. No idea. I have also reminiscence memory of it. But anyway, so see you tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow there should be a test. The copies also will be given to you so far, as all the copies have not been checked, to be very honest. So I don't want to delegate it to other person. I am evaluating you guys. So that's how it is. Okay. Hmm? आ जाएगा. By evening you will get it, so that you can study about the question and can write the answer. Okay. Then see you. I don't know why should I tell. People will not come to give the test then. Or you will be coming with the test on Monday. Then I understand that way. No? If the class is not there, why will you be coming? This is also a matter. But so far I have not decided about it. There are certain other pending meetings at some different places. So by evening you will come to know. But at least the question will be sent to you. Okay. So see you.